Well, buddy, that's it. I'm done. I'm out. I am no longer watching Amazon's botched Lord of the Rings nonsense. This show, I gave it a fair shake. I gave it a very fair shake. I made it 4.5 episodes in, okay? And I kept waiting. I'm like, eventually these guys are going to learn how to tell a story. I'm sure eventually there will be some character development, some characters to root for, some interesting situations. There's nothing in this show to like. There's nothing. There's nothing here. I kind of like the Harfoots. I know I'm the only person who likes the Harfoots. I want a Harfoots movie. But that's it. That's the only thing I'm like a little bit interested in because I think they're fun. I know that sounds crazy. Here's the thing. As I was watching this 5th episode of Rings of Power, I realized these writers have absolutely no idea what they're doing. They are bad writers. As we've discussed, these are all first-time showrunners. They have no history of writing anything. I have no idea how they got hired to write this billion-dollar show, because it's clear they have no idea how to develop a character. And the most obvious example of this is the character of Galadriel, and we're going to talk about that real quick before we get into it. Hit that subscribe button down there, join the Vito Nation, and let's talk about how they have completely destroyed what is supposed to be the main character of this series. Now, the problem we've had since episode 1 is that this is an unlikable character. She is singularly focused on her revenge against Sauron. She doesn't seem to care about the fact that she's endangering the lives of people around her. She has no skill in diplomacy. She always has this bitchy look on her face. And honestly, when the show started off, I actually kind of excused it, because I assumed the showrunners knew what they were doing. They were showing us a woman who is broken, obsessed with revenge, and she was slowly going to morph into the Galadriel we see in the movies, more soft-hearted, more compassionate. This is her at her lowest point, as she develops into a likable character. It's okay for a character to start off unlikable. That's very common in fiction, to have a character who is, you know, kind of dour, kind of negative, kind of mean to the people around them. They've suffered some sort of trauma, but they're slowly going to regain their humanity, or elfmanity, I don't know what you want to say, and slowly become a likable person. The problem is, we're 5 episodes into the show, and I can't think of a single likable thing this girl has done. She has shown no compassion to anyone around her. She has done nothing for the benefit of the greater good. And she seems to exist only, again, to fulfill this revenge quest against Sauron that she's on. Now, you can say that she's trying to rally the troops, go to Southland, save the humans, whatever else. The problem is that we've established that she's on this revenge quest. So that's not really an altruistic thing that she's doing. She's not trying to help the humans because she just cares about the good of humanity. She's doing it just to find Sauron and kill him, or at least that's one of her major motivations. Again, I've been racking my brain trying to think of a good thing that she's done, but she really just is ruining the lives of the people around her. Now, if you were a smart writer, you would just come up with some simple scene that it shows that she is somewhat likable. I mean, if you want to be stupid about it, have, you know, one character chased by an orc, and even though, you know, it's great danger, she steps in front of it and saves the guy's life. You know, show that she cares about something other than herself. She's been hanging out with this Hallbrand guy. All she's been doing is lecturing him, telling him about his duty. You need to be the king. You need to go save your people. And it all comes off as very preachy and disingenuous. Why not have a moment where she actually empathizes with him, where he shares his story and she, you know, kind of gives him life advice or helps him get over this emotional hump? Something that makes her likable. But instead of doing that, and again, this is the episode that I had to quit. After watching this scene, I said, these writers have no idea what they're doing. They're in their heads. They think the audience loves this woman. They think, well, we've shown her being a badass. We've shown her doing cool stuff with her sword. She's singularly focused, this awesome woman warrior. The audience loves her. They don't recognize right now, nobody loves this character. There's nothing to love about this character. She's done nothing for anyone. and they treat us to what is absolutely the worst scene in the entire show. Now, here we have a bunch of cadets. They're getting ready to board the ships, go save the Southlands, fight the orcs. And this scene is purposeless. This scene should not be in the show. If you're a competent editor, you would have chopped this all out. Unfortunately, it's like the big splashy action sequence of this episode, so they had to keep it in. Let's watch a little bit of it.
But for you, I will keep it strong and simple. Stab, twist, gut. Come at me. We will see who can score flesh.
Again, this does not read like our beloved main character. This reads like a hard-nosed drill sergeant who you're kind of supposed to hate. She's not fun. She's lecturing. She's almost talking down to them. But this is supposed to be treated as, wow, she's such a badass. What a great character. What are these writers doing? So, of course, we get this completely useless training sequence. Let's take a look at a bit more of this. Oh, she's so cool. That was so cool. What a badass. Whoa, man.
Swordsmanship is about balance rather than strength. Fight with your feet, not your arms.
This is our main character. She's just a lecturing drill sergeant who's smarter and better than everyone. I hate to say it. I've fought about it. I've fought about it with a lot of people, and I've said she's not a Mary Sue, and I still don't believe she's a Mary Sue. But this scene is straight Mary Sue behavior. The idea that you are the strongest, the most capable, there's nothing else for you to learn. You know more than all the other soldiers. You're the one who's going to lead them in battle and teach them all the cool sword tricks. This scene only exists for the audience to clap their hands like idiots and go, God, she's so cool. Specifically, look at the look on everyone's face. They're in the background. Everyone's like, oh my God. They have big smiles on her face because she's so cool. Even this guy, watch. Right here, guy comes out here, she parries his blow. He's smiling. He's like, God, I can't believe how cool she is. This is embarrassing. This is so bad. Everyone in town rushing out. Look at how cool this elf girl is. Wow, she's amazing. Oh my God. And here comes the stupid flip. I don't even know what she's just bending backwards. And we're supposed to think that we like this character? Look at that smile on her face. Pure arrogance, pure cockiness. And again, here's the problem. The audience doesn't like this character. So psychologically, when there's a main character you like, and they're showing off their skills, and they're very good at what they do, yeah, you're like, oh, that's awesome. One of my favorites is having a great moment. Everybody gets to see how great they are. But again, the audience has not been given a single reason to like this lady. If anything, we hate her. We've seen her put the lives of her comrades in danger. We've seen her almost talk her and Halbrand into being executed by the Numenors. And we're supposed to see her smiling. That makes me think like, oh, I don't want her to be happy. I hate her. Because she's still an unlikable character. Now, the real big problem I have with this scene is that it serves no purpose in the plot other than to show off how cool she is. This does not advance the storyline at all. You did not need a training sequence to establish the fact that, what, these guys are training how to fight orcs? This does not deepen our relationships with any existing characters because we have no idea who any of these people she's training is. This does nothing in the plot. This does not advance the plot in any way. It's literally just 3 minutes, 5 minutes of pointless action to showcase how cool she is. It does not move the plot at all. And that's been a huge part of the reason the show sucks is there's so much garbage stuffed into it that does not move the plot. Just, oh, look at how beautiful this CG is. Look at how cool this is. Look at all this shit we built. What purpose does this serve in the narrative? What does this do for other characters? What does this do for the audience? We already know, the audience already knows she can fight. We've seen it already. We saw her fight, what do you call it, a stupid troll, and she killed it in one hit. Why do we need another scene that just pointlessly shows off how good she is at fighting? This does nothing for the show. It doesn't advance the plot. That's like a fundamental rule of script writing. If the scene doesn't serve the story, cut it. This does nothing. But this is what you get when you work with novice screenwriters. Guys who have never really told a good story in their life, who don't understand character development. All they can think of in their mind is, wouldn't it be cool to see this lady spinning around with her swords and being a badass? They don't have the experience or the talent to sit back and go, well, what does that really do for the story? We already know that she can flip around with swords. We already know she's a badass. This is not important to the story. This is not doing what we need to do, which is to establish her character arc, show development. I would much rather have a scene again which tries to make me empathize with her character. Have a situation where somebody's in trouble and she saves them. Have a situation where she talks to another character and empathizes with them and gives them advice, or learns a little lesson about herself, or discovers her past. We don't need this pointless action scene that all it establishes is she's the best fighter, she's the most powerful, she's a superwoman, and everyone praises her. Why? Instead of teaching the audience to like her, instead of giving the audience reasons to think she's amazing, they just show us crowds smiling and clapping. This was the same problem we had with Mulan, where Mulan, if you watch that movie, the live action one, never gave the audience any reason to like her. But they surrounded her with all these sycophants and idiots who were constantly like, oh my God, Mulan's so incredible, we love Mulan. As a terrible way of trying to convince the audience to feel the same. That's not how writing works. You can't just surround characters with clapping monkey idiots and expect the audience to go along with it. We have no reason to like this chick. There's no reason for her to be flipping around with swords. This is such a waste of my time. I'm 4.5 episodes into this show, and I still hate this lady. And that's not my fault. That's not me being a misogynist. That's not me hating women. It's you, as the writer, have given me no reason to like this woman. And now you give me a big bombastic action sequence and you expect me to go, oh, she's so cool, she's my favorite? Terrible writing. I'm done. Guys, no more Rings of Power on this channel. There's no way. I can't watch it. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of your time. Just go watch literally anything else. There's a lot of great TV shows right now. Andor's good. House of the Dragon's good. Rick and Morty's back. Whatever. But do not waste your time with this show. It has no idea what it's doing. It's written by complete novices, and it's just a train wreck. I don't know how Amazon possibly salvages this project, but it is clear that these people are brain dead. Well, guys, that's my take on Rings of Power. I think this show is dead. I don't know. It's going to have a small fan base moving forward. Guys who do not understand plot or characters and just want stupid, loud action and big, bombastic vistas and CG. Oh my God, it looks so cool. But in terms of plot and characters, this writing is just terrible. I am blown away by that scene. How stupid it was. How pointless it was. How I cannot imagine writing something that insipid. That's stupid. Look at her flipping around with her swords. I don't care. But let me know in the comments if you feel the same. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button down there. Join the Vito Nation. And of course, check out my comic book, Super Killer, coming soon to crowdfunding. We're getting it together, and I think you guys are going to love it. Here's a little teaser I hope you'll check out. Now, if you're like me, you've probably found yourself getting a bit tired of all these superhero movies. Sure, we occasionally get something good like Spider-Man, but we also get crap like Wonder Woman 1984, The Eternals, or that godforsaken Hellboy reboot. Point is, maybe you're getting tired of watching these checkbox diversity characters putting on silly costumes and fighting CGI aliens. Maybe you've found yourself watching the latest round of Cape shit and thought, man, I wish some guy with a big gun would just show up and shoot all these motherfuckers in the head. Well, buddy, have I got the comic book for you. Super Killer is a man with a mission, and that mission is to shoot superheroes in the fucking head. Immortal alien gods? Bam, headshot. Adorable magical girls? Bam, headshot. Batman, you want him to kill Batman? No, we can't use Batman. DC Comics owns Batman. But here's a guy who looks kind of like Batman. Bang! Right in the fucking head. Super Killer is a hilarious dark comedy written by one of the greatest comedic talents of the 21st century. Me. I wrote it. It also features incredible artwork by Keter LeBeau, the most beautiful man in Mexico. Point is, this is going to be the greatest comic book ever written, but we can't make it without your help. Check the link in the description and sign up for our mailing list. That way, when our crowdfunding campaign goes live, you'll be among the first in line to get yourself a copy of this glorious blood-soaked comic book masterpiece. Super Killer Book 1. Because for humanity to live, the Superman must die.